Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a game addict? Yes, right? But have you ever seen a running addict? Very unlikely. That is what's happening in our society nowadays. The phenomenon of game addict and young people wanting to pursue gaming professionally, despite its risks, is common in our society nowadays, and it can become even more problematic by adding eSports to the Olympic Games. Before coming to our point, one rebuttal to the proposition team. You have stated that the Olympic Games is facing decrease in viewership, which in turn leads to no more spirit and profit for both the organizations and the players. And eSports would promise high viewership. But this is not the case. How can you ensure that if eSports is added to the Olympic Games, it will promise in higher viewership? Because eSports itself is controversial. When something is controversial, people will be divisive in the problem of whether you want to watch it or not. Maybe parents will say that, oh, this is not something that I would want my children to watch. In turn, they will not choose to watch the Olympics. And now, coming to our second point, which is adding eSports to the Olympic Games creates a legitimate excuse for gaming addiction. Firstly, let's look at the status quo. There aren't many kids who are interested in running sports and javelin or marathon, but there is a gigantic number of young people who are interested in playing video games. So, why is it a problem? First, let's look at the values of the Olympic Games. It is a huge worldwide event which is watched and respected by people all around the world, and 3.6 billion to be exact. Because of that, if children tell their parents that they are quote-unquote practicing for the Olympics, it would be less of an issue. It will sound less like an issue, and children will eventually do what? They will have an excuse. Adding eSports to the Olympic Games would mean that there would be a substantially large-scale platform for it. PLI?
Practicing for an Olympic Games, as we have previously explained, needs coaches and the whole team to support them in terms of even their meals and the way that they practice. Therefore, kids cannot just lie to their parents that they are representing their nation in order to compete for the Olympic Games.
Not parents need proof. They can just listen to the children and believe them. Okay, next to my point. It will become more widespread. Adding eSports to the Olympic Games would mean that there would be a substantially large-scale platform for it. It would become more widespread, which influences young people to look at it as more of a possible career choice, thus making more young people risk everything to pursue it professionally. So, what about young people? Young people lack maturity. So, they don't have enough maturity to thoroughly think about their future. They want to do what's fun at the moment. So, they are the majority of gaming enthusiasts. So, in turn, adding eSports to the Olympic Games would mean that there would be a legitimate excuse for them to play video games, thus increase the problem of gaming addiction.